All right, here we are with the Ottoman Empire, and boom.
Good afternoon, kids. This is Coach Whitey. Today we're going to be studying the. All right, so we're studying the Ottomans, but the picture you're seeing right now is the picture of an Ottoman. It's not the Ottoman Empire.
You mean that's not the Ottoman?
Right. Mr. Mays, I know you put this picture on here. That's not them. Come on, let's go. Be real.
Oh.
So, today we're talking about the Ottomans. The Ottomans are arguably one of the longest-lasting, most powerful, most influential empires of the Middle East, okay? And you see here, they're founded by a man named Osman. Osman was a farmer who started a city, which eventually grows to be one of the longest-lasting empires of the modern era.
So that means he balling, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, you see how Osman takes his small family and forms alliances with other militaristic leaders around the area, and he takes over and becomes what's called a sultan. As you can see here. Appreciate it, Mr. Mays.
Hey, that's what I do.
1453, we kind of talked about this last semester. The capital of the Ottoman Empire becomes Istanbul when they capture the old Byzantine Empire city of Constantinople. And they changed the name.
I ain't understand nothing you just said.
That's why you're a bad student.
That 1453 seems to be an important year.
Well, exactly, because this is when really the last vestige of the Roman Empire falls. Boom, boom, boom. Here you see when they take over Constantinople, they want to change all the Christian aspects of the city because this was the Christian stronghold in the Middle East. So they change the major church, the Hagia Sophia, and they change it into a mosque. They change the name of the city from a Christian name to a Muslim name. And they even change the inside of this gigantic church. So now I'm going to have Mr. Mays talk a little bit about a couple aspects of the Ottoman Empire.
Okay, they set up something called the Devshirme system. So all these new Christians that they had, they wanted to make them so that they were dedicated to the Muslim empire. So they took
Less Christian. They wanted to make them less Christian.
Less Christian, okay. So they took the Christian boys, and they were now raised by Muslim military leaders who trained these boys to become part of the special
Forces, maybe?
And they took them from all over.
Oh, the Marines!
Move it!
The Janissaries were like elite warriors. They were like the Marines of the empire.
So is this like a dictatorship?
No, it's not as much a dictatorship as much as a structure of absolute power to the Sultan.
A dictatorship.
Kind of, sort of. But the point I wanted to make was the Devshirme system and the Janissaries, it's kind of like Assassin's Creed, huh? It's kind of like that video game.
Exactly like
I've never played that, so you have to give me something else, another example.
You're not relevant.
Now, their most important leader was Suleiman
the Magnificent.
Yes. I mean, notice that, hold on. This is how you can tell he's important.
Look at that hat.
Look at that hat.
How could you not be important with a hat like that? I would love to, if I wore a hat like that.
That's a 1975 pimp hat.
Exactly.
Exclusive.
Exactly. You'd have to beat him off.
Now, when Suleiman took over, he set up a system that where all the power resided in his hand.
So he had absolute power.
Absolute authority.
Dictatorship.
He has absolute authority, but he doesn't have direct control over the military, which means that's a dictatorship.
Now notice everyone reports to someone who ultimately reports to the Sultan.
Suleiman.
Suleiman.
Awesome hat guy.
The Magnificent.
He was born at the beginning of the 10th century by the Muslim calendar, and he was the 10th sultan descended from Osman. He was a child of destiny, whose greatness was expected.
In the parlance of the day, he was the Sahib Quran, the universal ruler, the master of an auspicious conjunction, whose coming has been foretold, whose identity is confirmed astrologically.
His name was Suleiman, after Solomon, the wise king of the Old Testament. The Ottoman Empire would reach its apex under Suleiman's reign.
Suleiman was extremely well educated. He was trained to the Sultanate from the day he was born.
Suleiman was 26 when he took the throne, determined to make his mark on the world. The way to prove his mettle was on the battlefield. Every new sultan was expected to begin his reign by expanding the empire. Ottomans now controlled Kurdistan, Egypt, and the holiest cities of Islam, Mecca and Medina. Suleiman set his sights on Belgrade in Hungary, the stepping stone to Europe.
He was the head of the Ottoman dynasty, and he had certain duties to perform. One was conquest, and the first task.
Okay, that was long and boring.
But that was Suleiman the Magnificent. Aren't you glad you didn't have to watch that in class? But after 5 years after his death, the Ottoman Empire is going to decline. It's going to be basically Suleiman killed off all of his most able sons, and when he took over, one of his young sons who lived at the strip club, within the harem.
So he balled out.
Yeah, he didn't care about being in power, and boom.
Wanted to live the life.
So can people be Christians again?
No, not exactly.
That sucks.
That was the Ottoman Empire. Now, here are some of his major achievements. Make sure you get these down.
What, speak now? Oh, okay. So, Suleiman the Magnificent, he captures Belgrade, expanding Ottoman rule into Eastern Europe, okay? His influence is felt literally on 3 continents, Africa, Europe, and Asia.
Southwest Asia.
Now, his main foe was the Safavid Empire, all right, which today is Iran, okay? So, basically, this kind of sets up the whole Iran-Iraq thing.
Wait, Mr. Mays, Mr. Mays, Mr. Mays. What's this word right here?
Yeah, Iran is a Shiite state, and so the Safavid Empire was Shiite, whereas the Ottoman Empire was Sunni.
Oh, that's the 2 different types of Islam.
Yeah, sort of like the Baptists and the Methodists.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, except for maybe, well, anyway, his law code is probably the most important accomplishment.
Oh, you mean like Hammurabi and Justinian's law codes?
Exactly. His portrait even hangs in the Library of Congress today.
Where's that?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, our Congress.
Yeah. Okay.
So here you have a map of the empire, and I mean, man, look at this. This thing is humongous. It's huge. The only thing it's missing is on into Eastern Europe and Western Europe and what used to be Old Rome, and it would be a copy of the old Roman Empire.
Connects 3 different continents.
So that means they got to control trade. All right, guys, go ahead and read this passage and answer these 3 questions. These are what we're expecting to collect to make sure that you have sat here and done the time and watched your PowerPoint.
Try not to fall asleep.
I did.